not going to believe what Jakeema had to say about the last episode. But before I get to that, I do want to talk about what happened in the last episode. We have Jakeema, who kind of reminds me of Renika a little bit. I know I'm not the only one that thinks that. I've seen multiple people say that. And every time I just see her talking, from her mannerisms to the way she acts, I just see Renika. And she was sitting there at her place just chilling. And next thing you know, she grabs her mail. And as soon as she grabbed this envelope, she knew it was something serious. Her whole mood changed. Her kids were asking her for help with something, and she sent both of her boys to their rooms. And she opens up this paper, and she's like, what the hell is this? And I guess it was like a prison discipline report or a conduct report. And it says on July 15th of 2024. So that tells me what we're seeing now had to literally be filmed months ago. So they turned around this footage and edited it with a quickness. And I was kind of questioning this conduct report because, like, look at this. It says the location of the violation, which would typically be the location of the inmate, and it says the investigator's office. That doesn't even make any sense. Typically, you would put like the pod and the prison cell number, but it doesn't have any of that information about Donny, and he's the one who this conduct report is on. But I was able to find another Ohio conduct report for another inmate, and it does look pretty similar to what we're seeing from Donny, except some of the text is different. And this one from the other inmate report I found, this actually lists the location of the violation, and it says housing unit H1 A/J room, which that's how I would imagine Donny's report to be filled out like. And it said on Donny's report that based on evidence collected during the course of an investigation, so that tells me that they've been doing an investigation and watching Donny for a hot minute. One inmate collaborated to procure and distribute unauthorized drugs at MCI. So the phone system was investigated, and they showed that he used the phone to order drugs, to authorize payments, and I guess he was caught with a large amount of unauthorized drugs. He had 81 face-sized pieces of K2, 2 strips of Suboxone, 11 paper folds of marijuana, and a baggage of tobacco. You know how much money all that is worth in prison altogether? Like, he was big ballin'. But I mean, I already expected this because there's no way that you're living the way you are in prison and Jakeema is able to live in a house because of you when you're not doing things like that. I think Jakeema obviously knows this is what he's been doing, unless she's just crazy naive, but I highly doubt that. And I just think she doesn't want to admit herself that she's more aware of what Donny's doing than she really is. And it says, so he was found with all these drugs, and his phone calls were monitored, and it shows that he was buying large amounts of drugs from somebody, another inmate, and he was selling them to other inmates. And one day he got caught with all this stuff, and they ended up finding out that he was sending $550 on CASHAPP to Jakeema. So now they're bringing Jakeema into all these charges. Well, they're not charging her, but she was listed in this report. So they're making it sound like she was pretty much helping him launder this money. And it says that same day he got caught with the drugs, he sent money on CASHAPP, and they're saying that he has single-handedly been tearing the institution apart with all these drugs. What I'm confused about is, how did they get her CASHAPP information? That's what I don't get. And how did they get like her address and all this to send the conduct report to? And I could understand, like, if they're married, okay, they're gonna send a wife the conduct report. But even then, I've known people who've been married to people who have had conduct reports, and they didn't get them sent to them in the mail. Usually you have to put in a request, or they give it to the inmate. But she was saying, oh, I can't even come visit him anymore. And she made it sound like they said on the paperwork that she specifically isn't allowed to come. But I went over that paperwork she showed, and I did not see that on there anywhere. All I saw is that he's not allowed to have any visits, period, since he got caught with all this. And it says that they ended up finding some subs and some K2 concealed in a dental floss container. So they send this to her. She's just outraged. She cannot believe what she's seeing. And she just throws all the papers up in the air, and she decides to call the prison herself to get to the bottom of things. And so she calls the prison, and she's like, I want to know what's going on. And they really couldn't give her much information. And that's what I'm saying. They can't give her any information on the phone, but they're going to send this to her in the mail. Like, how does that make any sense? Now let's look at some of her Instagram posts after the last episode. She said, I haven't even watched the episode yet. It's like once the first 2 episodes air, you don't be excited no more. And I did all that work. Then she said, I'm finna watch it though. And then she said, just watched it, going live tomorrow on Facebook and IG. And she said, dudes in jail always want some pictures. Boy, picture yourself free. How about that? Then she said, I woke up to hella messages giving me prayers. Y'all think me or Donny in a drug case? You just as slow as a turtle. I promise I'm good and he good. Y'all doing too much. No, baby, this is TV. Calm down. So that just tells me that the whole scene was complete cap and just straight produced. Then she shared a screenshot of this interview that Deontay recently did with Statler, former 90 Day Fiancé cast member, and she said, did y'all watch this interview with him? Like, why? You had a choice, because I definitely told them what I was and wasn't going to do if I didn't like it. So little context, in this interview, Deontay's pretty much opening up about being on the show, and he's like, yeah, they told me to do this, they told me to do that, and a lot of times I just felt pressured. Or he said that they would be super friendly with him, so he actually thought they were his friends, so he got more comfortable than he normally would be around people. So he was like, yeah, there's a lot of things that I ended up doing that I really didn't want to do. And here is Jakeema saying, look, if you don't want to do something, then you just don't have to do it. Then Deontay was talking about how much producers will produce things at times, and how they went and had, like, Deontay change, like, the producer's number to Nicole's, or the producer's number, and save the name under Nicole. So once the producer would text him, it would look like Nicole was actually texting him, and they would do that with different phone numbers, acting like different people. And she shared this screenshot and said hollering. So I wonder if she's saying that, which I'm thinking she's probably laughing at that, because in that scene when they probably called the prison, she's probably sitting there talking to a producer. Then Jakeema shared a screenshot of a message she received as someone replying to her story, where she claimed that, hey, it's just TV. And someone said, I knew it was fishy, because how they even get your new address? I love you real bad. And she said, okay, clock it. I love the way you think. And then she said, I love you too. I love y'all who are cool. I don't mind interacting with y'all. Thank you. Then she shared a screenshot of a video visit she's doing with Donny, and she said, we good, my best friend. Then she shared another it's actually a video of her dancing, and Donny's just sitting there watching her. She said, I can't dance at all. Y'all think he loved my dancing? Why he never let nobody see me on camera? He keep covering up the phone, brah, he funny. And at the end, like, she's sitting there dancing, and somebody is walking by in the background, and he does hurry up and put his hands up and tries to cover up the camera real quick, or at least cover up the screen so his people couldn't see her. Maybe he was trying to hide her from his prison boyfriend, but honestly, I think he was just trying to make sure that none of his inmate friends or anybody else there saw her, but she wasn't really exposed or anything, so I don't know why he was trying to cover his screen like that. But that is pretty much it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.